Alright, so now I am literally using my iPad to make a video of myself using my phone to do iMovie. So in my Apple stuff, I've got iMovie, and I've done several, including apparently one called Spinning Rides, which was when I was at Disney World, and probably you didn't need to know that, but anyway, so I'm always going to go to the plus, okay, and I'm going to make a movie. Okay. And it's going to give me the most recent things I've done, and I am just going to touch them. Okay, I'm just putting check marks. Okay. And here, 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 here. Okay, and there. Okay. So I've checked everything I wanted to check, and now I'm going to click Create Movie. Okay, and I've checked a lot of things, and so it may take a minute. Okay, it's creating the movie. And what it does here is it actually just puts everything in the order I put it in. Okay, so I'm kind of scrolling back through. There we go. Okay, so now I'm back to the beginning, which is where you saw me. Okay, and if I press play, I can kind of re-watch what I did. Oh, and I've got myself on mute, so I'm gonna. Now I look like a fool. You're just gonna have to get over that. Okay.
My name is Rebecca Nolan, and today I am...
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the very beginning, and when I first start recording, I always look up at the top, and I don't know why, so I've learned to kind of just give myself a pause. Okay, and so I waited until I was looking at the camera, and I've got a relatively nice smile, and I come down here to the bottom. Okay, and if I touch where I am, so I've now got, the words are a little blurry, split, detach, duplicate, or delete. If I split that, then that very beginning part, which is where I was looking away, that very beginning part is now separate. I can touch it, and I can click delete, okay? And there's no way for me to mess this up because this video is still on my iPhone, right? So now I just press play and I listen to it.
Hi there, my name is Rebecca Nolan, and...
Okay, and you've already seen this part, so I'm not going to make you listen to the whole thing. I'm just going to come to the end, and I'm going to see if there's a part that I need to kind of delete off of the end, okay? So that's where I was talking to Bigby Dog, okay? So I'm just kind of scrolling through. Okay, so here at the end, I'm just rewatching the end.
That's it. That's step one. You start by making a video. So this is that.
Okay, and then it automatically just goes into whatever you were doing next. So now I've got where I was walking across the backyard. Okay, going through the gate. Okay, and there we go. There's the chickens. Okay, and then I start talking again. Okay, so again, I'm just going to check the beginning and make sure the beginning of that video looks okay.
All right, so right now I've moved to a different spot in my backyard.
Yep, that looks good to me. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. Now, here at the end,
then I could still put it all together at the end.
So
because I sat down next to where the chickens are.
Okay, so that's video of the chickens. Okay, and then here. So this is actually just a picture of the chickens, okay? So if I press play here.
And getting to know them.
So now it's just showing the pictures of the chickens that I took, okay? And it'll just go from one picture to the next. And now because I'm creating a movie of myself making the movie, I can talk over these pictures. Normally you wouldn't.
So when I'm ready to make an iMovie for the student.
Okay, so there's that part, and I'm just kind of going through. Okay. All right, and again, I'm just going to check. I go through until the end, and I check to see if I need to do something different at the end.
I think it's just more interesting for them.
Okay, and then you see how it showed me kind of reaching up. So I'm going to go figure out where I started doing that reach or listen for the end of the sentence.
I think it's just more interesting for them.
Okay, and then I kind of look like a fool there with my lips pursed, but I'm going to go ahead and touch that part again. Now you see this part where I close the camera, it's not letting me split because that part's not long enough. So I'm just gonna have to go with the camera reach and just live with it, and that's okay because I'm entertaining children, not going to the Oscars.
Right now.
Okay, now I've got this one, okay. And that one, there's not going to be anything weird at the end, right? Okay, so here's where I started writing for you guys.
Anything I wanted, but I'm just holding my phone and I'm writing.
So I wrote step 1, make your videos. And then I realized that you guys don't really need to watch me write, so I took some pictures, okay? And here, do you see how this is all wonky? It's to the side, and that's when I remembered that I needed to tell you guys, okay, make sure you're always looking at this horizontally, okay? So now I've got step 3. All right, so here's step 1 now. So now I've got where it says step 1, and it's horizontal instead of vertical, and so it looks right. So now what I can do is I can pick this up by holding it, and I can move it in front of step, or after that video, into where step 2 is. So now I've got
to write in front of the kids, but you don't have to.
So now I've got step 1, make your videos, and then it should just go to the next picture, which is step 2, take your pictures. And then step 3, open iMovie, which is what we're doing right now, okay? So I went back, and then I remembered this tip, okay? Oh, and actually I redid that picture, so I've already got, so down here I've got step 3, and then it goes back to step 1 and 2. I don't need that, so I highlight that, and then I click delete, okay? And I still, like, I took some extra pictures there that I don't need, so I'm going to keep going to those and kind of look at them, and then delete, okay? And then I had this tip to do everything horizontally, but then, funnily enough, I wrote that vertically, so now I'm going to delete that because I came up with a different way. And this, I don't even know what this is. That is a picture I didn't even mean to take. I'm glad, yes, you can be glad that you're not the only one who does that. Okay, so here's where my daughter was videotaping for me.
So, I happen to have a whiteboard in my house. I don't know.
Okay, so there's the part where she was videotaping for me, and I can just kind of scroll through and make sure the end looks
To
good.
get your video going and to give you that tip.
Okay, which I did, and then there's the Animal Crossing video, and then we've just got this, and then here's my closer.
Back in that kind of blank corner
Okay, so
movie.
So that is how I did my movie, and now that I'm done with it, I'm actually going to do a couple more things before I'm done because I'm making this for you guys. So I'm going to pause this movie, and then I will show you how I'm going to finish it out. All right, so what I just did was I took the video I just made with the iPad and I just put it to my phone, and I realized you probably want to see that, so I'll show you that in a minute. But it's not in my iMovie yet, so I'm going to go to Done, okay? And then there's my movie. Now I'm going to go to Edit, okay? And I'm going to hit this plus, okay? And I'm going to go to Video, and then this recently added is what I just added, okay? And so I can touch that, and now if I press the plus sign, it's going to add that to the end of my movie, okay? So now I've got what I was just showing you on the iPad, okay? And I realized, again, like you kind of want to see what I did there. So I just added it and I just recorded it with the iPad, so hold on. This is starting to feel like one of those things where like you look in a mirror and you see the person in the mirror looking at the person in the mirror. Anyway, so this is what I just did on my iPad, and I want to, I'm going to pause it because it's starting to distract me. Okay, and I want to put it back on my phone, and so I'm going to go up here to that share button. Okay, and I'm just going to airdrop it. Rebecca's iPhone's right there, so I'm just going to airdrop it, okay? And so it's doing that right now. So now I'm back to iMovie, and I want what I just added. And I told you earlier you had to press done, but I actually did an extra step there. I can just do the plus sign. And I'm going to go back again to, I just went back so that it would show what I had recently added, which was the one I just did. And I'm going to do a plus sign, and it's going to throw that at the end as well. And now you can see how if you need to go back and forth from your iPad to your phone, you can. And you can always just add more to the end of your movie. Okay? All right, so the goal of this training was actually sort of twofold. Number one, I wanted you guys to know how to make an iMovie with your iPhone or an iPad. But two, I want you to think about how you can use what you have at your house to just be creative in thinking of ways to engage your students. So I have included some links to some YouTube videos that I made for my students. I don't think that the things that I did were all that, superstar amazing. Certainly the Oscars are not knocking on my door, but it was just stuff I could think of to share a little bit of myself with the students and to try to engage with them. Some of the tips that I have for you, the kids really liked it when I kind of established like a pattern with what I was doing. Like they knew that I would use the Legos on Thursdays, and I would do something with the pets on Tuesdays, and that sort of thing. That way there was a lot of novelty and variety, but there was also a routine to it. So I would invite you to check out my YouTube channel, again, not because it's like superstar quality stuff, but because it's got some different ideas to it. And then I'm going to create space on the Google Doc for you to kind of brainstorm your own ideas that other people can see of other things that, like stuff you have around your house, or, things that you could do with your iPhone when you're making a video that would just make things a little bit more personal, a little bit more engaging. So I would ask for you to add those ideas to the Google Doc, but know that other people will be seeing them. And then I want you to use any extra time that you have to kind of play around with iMovie and make something for yourself, just something silly that kind of just gets you going with the idea. And then this was designed as something you could do on your own time. And so we're not in a Google Meet or anything, but I want you to feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I will include in the Google Doc both my cell phone number and my email, so please feel free to email me or text me any questions you have. I am happy to help, and I think we are all in for a really interesting journey this next year, and I think that anything we can do to make it a little bit more fun for ourselves and for the kids is going to just make it that much better. Thank you.